Hello Christites, you're watching CNews, an effort of the Media and Communication Studies Department 2016-2018, and I'm your host Subhojit Paul. Today we have Noel Claude Jackson. Welcome sir. With over 25 years of experience, Noel sir has worked with 700 schools on environmental issues. He has mastered the art of counseling, bringing an immense change in the lives of students from postgraduate to schools. And now, we will hear from the man himself, his motivation, his inspiration, and some untold stories. Going by your CV, you have surely kept service before self. What motivated you, sir, over such a prolonged career?
I must definitely say, and I would like to make it very clear, I know it might sound a little weird to people who might be watching me or even people who might be listening, but I must tell you that being a Christian and having read the Bible, which says that you treat others better than your very own self, I would always think that that has always been on my mind, and therefore every person that I looked at, I always looked at someone who was much better than me, someone that I can get help from, and at the same time also try to impart my life. I'd always love to leave that person with some kind of a little memory that they would be able to say, okay, right, this is what I learned from the person that I met today. And that's kept me going all through my life, absolutely, yeah.
Which leads me to another question. How important is the role of a counselor for growth of an individual?
Personally, I feel it's a kind of a huge thing when it comes to someone you want to counsel. And I know students are someone who would never want to go to a counselor. Therefore, it's so very important for me to let the student know. And believe me, I do not want to call myself as a counselor because that kind of puts off students or anyone who comes to see me. And I would always like to see myself as someone who might be there just in order to help them to be a part of their life for today. Going by the way of a counselor, I would always think it's a huge responsibility. For me, counseling means investing. Okay. And the more I am available to invest to the person who comes to me, whether it's a student or a staff member, I think that's being a counselor for me.
Can parents play an active role as a counselor for their wards?
If you ask me of today, I think they have a huge responsibility of being their counselor. And I firmly believe that the more time parents are willing to spend with their children, it's a wonderful way in which the parents can counsel their kids. And I think for me, counseling begins right in the family, at home. You don't need to even tell your child you're doing wrong, therefore I'm going to sit with you. It's nothing like that, but it's just telling your child you've done wrong, that's okay, but here's another way that I would like to sit with you and talk to you about. Yeah, I think parents have a huge responsibility.
In today's digitally dominated world, sir, communication is rather virtual, whereas smiley in WhatsApp has its own significance. How much challenging is it for you to bring the true essence of communication when it comes to counseling someone?
Okay. As far as what I see it, I only always think that the more I'm able to sit with the student and allow that student to communicate to me, I think it works out a lot. It does work out a lot. And I think, as I said earlier on, the more I'm able to sit and invest my time in that person who comes to me, the more I am open. My communication gaps are very much open between both of us. It is something that we need to do. Surely.
As students, many come to you during their challenging emotional times. What do you suggest them to do in such hours?
It really depends upon the student, and it really depends upon the situation that they can come to me. I would then think that student as you are, I do not want you to leave my office saying that I've given up. I've always loved you to leave my office, and I love students who leave my office saying, sir, thank you, I'm going to work on this. And that for me is thing. I always want to remind ourselves, look, we all have failures. And failure for me is not the many times that you fall down, but failure for me is refusing to get up. And when I see students getting up in their particular situation, I think that is the best. Stay strong, student.
Would you like to brief us about the requirements or the criteria that a student require who want to get into the MACS wing of Christ University?
I like the question. It's so very important. And the criteria that we have come to be who you want to be. And that is simple for me. You might have failures, you might have weaknesses, you might think that you have stage fear, therefore you're not able to even speak a word, but that's not our criteria at all. Our criteria is you should be able to invest into your fellow students. Max, as I keep on saying, is not a 45-minute session in the class. It's more than that. And when we take students, we just take them on their dedication. I know this word has become so very relevant today about I have a passion. In Max, we don't have a passion. We have a dedication. It's more than passion for me. And until and unless I am dedicated to what I want to do in investing into another student's life, I think that would be my criteria. It's all about dedication when it comes to Max, because we want to help that student on a day-to-day life right here on the Christ College campus.
So now, would you like to share a moment of inspiration that made you who you are, changing lives of students?
I'm not too sure, because I'm still trying to find that out, whether I am an inspiration or what. But from the reviews that we read, my team keeps on telling me that whenever we do our session, if Noel sir does not do the concluding, there is no session. And I keep reminding my students, look, you are my inspiration. You are my encouragement. As far as where I am concerned, I'm happy at what I am doing. I enjoy my work wherever it has been. I've always thought that I would love to, at the end of the day, look at students and say, you are the best for me. And I think when that student knows fully well, in spite of him or her, knowing fully well that there is nothing that probably he thinks he is, I would always think that the student is the best for me. And to be honest, if Max is a success, it's not because of Noel sir, it's because of my students who work with me very, very closely. And they are an amazing bunch. I love this, one of my co-group members, a boy by the name of Pratik, and I want to bring it out here because not many would have even heard about a story such as that, who lost his brother in a tragic accident. And at that time, we wanted him to join Max, but we had no idea at all that this boy had lost his brother in a tragic accident. Last week we had a get-together with ourselves, and we were just trying to appreciate our very own co-group, what they are. And Pratik came up and said, you know, Noel sir, if I am what I am today, is only because you have changed my life. That is the stories that I consider to be success. Pratik is such a vital part of Max today. He's developed so much, and like that there are so much of successful stories that we are going through. Student, I want you to know this morning, you are not only precious, you are unique, and you have some qualities that only you can develop. The only problem is, if there is a dream, don't stand in between that dream. You have a dream, protect it, because you are the one that needs to be moved forward. Keep going, stay strong, and as I said earlier on, come and talk to us at any time that you feel you want to talk to.
By now you all know what he did, why he did, and how he did. Christ University is really privileged to have his services. From the batch of Media and Communication Studies 2016-2018, for watching CNews, as we try to bring forward such inspirational stories who keep you motivated and raring to go. Your host, Subhojit Paul.